We've got Mohid here, Raj Mohid. So if we send him to onboarding, we then get presented with all the processes for that organisation that they have in place for the onboarding system. If you want one specific for a doctor, because they have to go through various different checks that maybe someone else doesn't have to, then you would have multiple onboarding processes depending on the job that's being applied for. So I'm not going to send him to onboarding because I've already got a couple lined up already, but I'm into your onboarding list here. We've got progress to determine what stage they've got to in that onboarding process, and then the job that they're successfully applied for and the process that goes with that job which you have selected. So let's go with just standard with DBS. So just selecting the hyperlink of the name took me through to the specific detail of that person for onboarding. So what we have here is a breakdown of onboarding from the recruiter perspective. This is all the steps that will need to be carried out for this person to successfully get to their new position and complete the onboarding process. If we just have a look, you've got some examples of the type of information that they want to retrieve from the candidate and also from external parties. So let's just kick it off. So each one of these is a process step, and the process step is just it's a section of the onboarding, and what you can do with the process step is you can have it visible to the candidate, you can have it visible to an external party, so that we'll see in a minute that when the candidate comes in, they only have access to part of this onboarding section. It's the only part that we want to allow them to see. And there's also interdependencies on these process steps. So some down the bottom here won't open yet because they're dependent on some of the ones above them being completed. So yeah, you can also attach emails at any state in the process. So I've just opened it up, everything's turned to in process, and I've got a welcome email which would be sent to obviously the relevant candidate, which is Jane in this case. Obviously we've got the branding there which we need to get rid of a bit, setting up for yourself. So ready for you to be onboarded. Can you click here to carry on? So this is what the candidate would do. So the candidate will come in. See, they've got different buttons depending on what state the onboarding process steps in. So it's straight off the bat, Mrs. Jane Jenkins. And so she would come and give her all of her information. Let's make her. She can save it to come back to it later, or if she wants to, she can complete that step. So in completing that step from the candidate's side, for her, it's been locked in now. If we come back to the recruiter, go down, and they would complete the relevant details all the way down. We've got professional references here, which I'll complete one of these ones. So let's go for Charles Dyson. That's the name off the top of my head. Let's go. So let's complete that. That's been completed. And as I mentioned earlier, you can see that this is a subsection of. It's a list of process steps which we've allowed the candidate to see. It's not the full list of steps which we have down here. We've got further steps for all sorts of things. So what we've done here is it's got the candidates entered their reference details. It's gone into pending verification. What's going to happen when I complete this is the relevant section that's linked to it. So this is the personal reference details. This is the actual reference itself here. But because these are links and there's a dependency on here, what we will do is we'll complete this step will open, and it will take the details from this step that was entered and merge in an email, which will then be sent out to an external party. exactly. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit technical on that one. I don't need to be. Okay, I'll just try and speak up a little bit. Now that I've completed that process step, the links one has opened, but I've also got an email. So the linked email here is it's to an external third party. So it's Charles is the person that I entered. And again, we offer the email functionality, and down the bottom here we have like the form for the external party to go and define and complete. So if I was Charles, the referee for Jane, I would come in and then I would enter all of my details here and complete. Well, from a document upload perspective, from the candidate, we can use this a field type to actually be an upload document type. Any of these fields that we have within the process step can be changed to an upload document type. So yeah, so any of these fields can be changed to a document upload, and then the candidate can go and upload a specific document. And if they do so, that document also would appear against that field control, and it will also be uploaded to the recruiter's library here for that process step. We also have the ability to just add notes, so any notes against so that's functionality which is in place if you have multiple recruiters taking on an onboarding process. They might want to leave some notes for another recruiter to come in and carry. So yeah, that's pretty much the basis of the primary functionality. It's still